Did you know there's a spiritual blueprint for turning your desires into reality? Jacobo Grinberg, the groundbreaking consciousness researcher, discovered profound insights into how the universe responds to our thoughts and intentions. His work uncovers a step-by-step process to align your mind, energy, and actions to manifest anything you desire. In this video, we'll break down Grinberg's spiritual blueprint and reveal how you can use it to unlock limitless potential in your life. Stick around till the end. These revelations might just transform the way you manifest forever. Let's get started. Number 1. Understand and harness the power of consciousness. Sure, let's dive into the concept of understanding and harnessing the power of consciousness. We've all heard it, consciousness is the key to unlocking everything we want in life. But what does that really mean? Consciousness isn't just some abstract term. It's the lens through which we experience and interact with the world. Every thought, feeling, and perception we have is filtered through our consciousness. It's our inner landscape, the invisible force that shapes our reality. Think of it as the stage where the drama of your life unfolds. The more aware you are of how your consciousness operates, the more control you have over the direction of your life. Here's where it gets interesting. Your consciousness isn't static. It's fluid. It shifts and flows with your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. And if you can learn to tune into it, you can begin to direct that flow in ways that serve you. This means understanding that your thoughts aren't just fleeting ideas, they are powerful creators. Every belief you hold, every assumption you make about the world, is a manifestation in the making. If your mind is constantly in a state of lack, doubt, or negativity, your consciousness will mirror that. Conversely, if you intentionally focus on abundance, possibility, and confidence, your consciousness aligns with that energy. The trick isn't just about thinking positive thoughts or hoping for the best. It's about understanding the subtle ways in which your consciousness is always at work, even when you aren't consciously aware of it. The power lies in the moment-to-moment choices you make about where you place your attention. You can choose to focus on what's missing in your life, or you can choose to direct your attention to the abundance already around you. The more consciously you make these choices, the more you start to direct the flow of energy in your life. But here's something to keep in mind. Just like any skill, harnessing the power of consciousness takes practice. It's not like flipping a switch where suddenly everything falls into place. It's more like training your mind to be a more effective tool for creation. In the beginning, it might feel like you're forcing it, like you're trying to steer a ship with no clear map. But over time, you develop a sense of rhythm. You begin to sense the energy of your thoughts and emotions more clearly. You start to recognize how your inner state is shaping the outer world. And when you get really good at this, your consciousness starts to work for you instead of against you. When you learn to harness this power, your sense of self transforms. You become someone who is deeply in tune with your inner landscape, understanding how to shift your mindset and energy to match the life you want to create. The world doesn't feel like something happening to you anymore. Instead, you begin to realize that you're a participant in the unfolding of your reality. This doesn't mean you control everything. Life, after all, has its ebb and flow. But by learning to consciously direct your attention and intentions, you open up a space for greater alignment with your desires. It's about working with the natural flow of consciousness instead of against it. Your internal state and your external world begin to resonate in harmony, creating opportunities, synchronicities, and experiences that might have once seemed out of reach. So, the first step is awareness, becoming aware of your consciousness, your thoughts, and your emotions. The second step is learning how to consciously influence them, knowing that the more you direct your attention, the more you shape your reality. Harnessing the power of consciousness isn't some mystical, unattainable skill. It's something that, with practice and awareness, becomes second nature. And once you master it, you'll find that you are no longer a passive observer of life. You become an active creator, co-creating the world you desire. Number 2, recognize the interconnectedness of all things. Recognizing the interconnectedness of all things isn't just some abstract concept, it's an experience, a shift in how we view the world. When you start to tune into this truth, it's like realizing that everything around you, from the smallest grain of sand to the vast expanse of the stars, is connected in ways you probably never noticed before. It's almost as if the universe is a giant web, and each action you take, each thought you have, sends a ripple through the entire structure, touching things you might not even be able to see. The first step in really embracing this interconnectedness is to start questioning the idea of separation. We've been taught for so long to view ourselves as isolated entities, cut off from the flow of the world, standing apart from others. But if you look deeper, you'll see that this view is kind of limiting, isn't it? The idea that you and the person next to you are totally separate, that you're each living entirely different realities, doesn't quite hold up when you really dig into it. Think about it. How many times do you feel a subtle shift in your mood after someone else enters the room? Or maybe you notice that when you act with kindness, it somehow seems to spark the same in others? It's as if, in those moments, you're tuned into something bigger than just your personal world. You feel a connection, almost an invisible thread pulling you toward others. This isn't just coincidence, it's part of the intricate web of existence. The energy you give out has a direct impact on what's returned to you, even if it's not immediately obvious. When Jacobo Grinberg spoke about interconnectedness, he wasn't just talking about the physical world, but also the spiritual realm. Everything, whether tangible or intangible, is interwoven, and this web holds the key to manifesting what you desire. It's like learning to tune your frequency to the broader vibrations of the universe. When you understand that your thoughts, intentions, and actions are constantly interacting with the fabric of existence, you begin to realize how powerful you really are. It's not just about understanding the idea intellectually, it's about embodying it in every fiber of your being. The more you acknowledge this interconnectedness, the more you start to realize that what you do affects more than just your own life. It touches everyone and everything. So, when you start to align your thoughts and actions with your desires, you're not doing it in isolation. You're tapping into a network that stretches across time and space. And then there's the whole matter of energy. Every thought, every emotion, every intention carries energy, whether it's positive or negative. And this energy isn't contained within you alone. It radiates outward, creating waves that move through the space around you. Think of it like throwing a stone into a pond. The stone might hit one spot, but the ripples spread out, touching areas you couldn't have imagined. Similarly, when you channel your energy positively and with purpose, you align yourself with the flow of the universe, opening doors that might have seemed closed before. It's also worth noting that the law of attraction plays into this understanding. When you truly believe that everything is connected, you begin to see how your thoughts attract similar energies. If you're constantly thinking in terms of lack, fear, or scarcity, those energies will find their way back to you, almost like they're magnetized. But if you shift your thinking, focusing on abundance, gratitude, and possibility, you start to attract more of those positive frequencies. Your thoughts are no longer isolated events but part of a much larger cycle, creating a continuous loop of energy that fuels your manifestation process. This interconnectedness is also why gratitude becomes such a powerful tool. When you're grateful, you're not just appreciating what you already have, you're acknowledging the web of energy that has brought those things to you. You're aware that you are a part of something much bigger, and in doing so, you're reinforcing the flow of abundance and positivity. Gratitude is like sending a signal out to the universe that says, "I understand how this all fits together, and I am grateful for the abundance flowing my way." So, when you're manifesting anything, remember that it's not about forcing the world to bend to your will. It's about syncing with the natural flow of the universe and understanding that every action you take, every thought you have, is a thread in that web. The more you recognize this interconnectedness, the more effortless the process of manifestation becomes. You're no longer working against the current but riding the wave that's already there, supporting you every step of the way. Number 3. Utilize focused intention for manifestation. When it comes to manifestation, one of the most powerful tools at your disposal is focused intention. This isn't just about thinking positive thoughts or casually wishing for something to happen. It's about channeling your energy and attention with laser precision. It's the kind of focus that comes from a deep sense of purpose, where every thought, every feeling, and every action aligns with your goal. Think of it like this: manifestation is like planting a seed, but your focused intention is the sunlight and water that nourishes that seed, helping it to grow into something real. Now, focusing your intention isn't as easy as just wishing for something. It requires effort, discipline, and an understanding of how your mind works. The key here is that focused intention goes beyond the surface-level desires or fleeting thoughts that we often have. It's about truly connecting with the core of what you want to manifest, feeling it deeply in your being. If your heart isn't in it, or if you're distracted by other thoughts, your intentions become scattered, and the energy you're putting out into the world lacks the strength to make anything happen. To really harness the power of focused intention, you need to first create clarity. This means being absolutely certain about what it is you want. The clearer your vision, the stronger your focus becomes. If you're unclear, your intention becomes like a foggy signal that can easily be ignored by the universe. But when you're crystal clear, it's like broadcasting a strong signal that the universe can hear and respond to. It's not just about setting an intention and letting it sit in the back of your mind either. Focused intention means that you actively engage with your goal on a daily basis. This can be through visualization, where you see yourself already having achieved what you desire. It could also mean saying affirmations that align with your goal, or taking small steps toward it every day. It's the act of putting in mental, emotional, and sometimes even physical energy into the things you want to manifest. But here's the thing about focused intention that many people miss: it's not just about what you do in the moment. It's about maintaining that focus consistently, even when things don't seem to be working out. We've all been there. You set a goal, you focus on it, and then nothing happens, and it's easy to get discouraged. But true manifestation requires patience. The key is to keep the focus steady, even when you're not seeing immediate results. Trusting the process is a huge part of it. In fact, the more you let go of the how and just focus on the end result, the quicker things tend to move. One thing that helps with this kind of sustained focus is learning to quiet the mind. The more chaotic your thoughts, the harder it is to keep your intention focused. This is where meditation or mindfulness can be incredibly helpful. By practicing mindfulness, you train your mind to stay present, which makes it easier to channel your energy into what matters most. You stop being distracted by external noise and inner chatter, and you create a mental space where focused intention can thrive. Another aspect of focused intention is being in alignment with your desire. This means that your actions, thoughts, and emotions should all support your intention. If you're constantly thinking about how difficult it is to manifest your goal, or if you're acting in ways that contradict your desires, your energy becomes fragmented. It's like trying to send a message with a broken phone. It's hard for the universe to hear you clearly. But when you're aligned, when everything from your energy to your mindset to your actions is consistent with your intention, that's when manifestation becomes powerful. It's like a spark that ignites a fire, fueling the process forward. So, don't just set your intention and forget about it. Keep that focus sharp, stay aligned, and watch as your desires begin to unfold. Number 4. Cultivate self-awareness and presence. Alright, let's dive into this powerful idea of cultivating self-awareness and presence. It sounds simple enough, right? But when you really start to explore it, you realize that it's one of the most transformative tools you have at your disposal. So, what does it mean to be truly self-aware and present? It's not just about knowing your thoughts or your feelings, it's about understanding how they shape your experience. It's about feeling your energy in your state of mind, moment by moment, without getting caught up in the mental noise. When you are self-aware, you're not just reacting to life as it happens, you're observing it, almost from the outside in. You notice your thoughts without identifying with them, you recognize your emotions without getting lost in them. In that space of awareness, there's a certain freedom. You realize you have a choice in how you respond, how you perceive, and ultimately, how you create your experience. But here's the kicker, the magic doesn't really happen in the future or the past. It happens right now. You could have all the knowledge in the world, but if you're stuck in your head, constantly thinking about what might happen next or what happened before, you're missing the point. The key to unlocking your potential, your ability to manifest, is to be fully present. Presence isn't just about being physically in a place, it's about being mentally there too. Think of it as focusing your energy on the here and now. When you're present, you're not distracted by the endless stream of thoughts. You're not thinking about what happened yesterday or stressing about tomorrow. You're fully engaged in the moment, with all your senses open. It's like tuning a radio to the right frequency so you can hear exactly what's being broadcast. Self-awareness feeds into presence. When you are truly aware of yourself, your emotions, your thoughts, your body, you can drop the stories that tend to play out in your head. You stop being a passive participant in your thoughts and start being the active observer. And that's where the power lies. You see things as they are, not through the lens of judgment or assumption. You just experience what's happening, moment by moment. But how does this translate into manifesting? It's simple. When you are fully present, you're in a state of flow. You're aligned with the energy around you, and that alignment creates the space for things to manifest. When you're constantly thinking about what you don't have or what you think you need, you're not present, you're in a state of lack. But when you're fully present, you understand that everything you need is already available to you. You're no longer fighting against the current, you're flowing with it. And here's the thing about being present, it's not about forcing your mind to stop. It's not about trying to clear your head or forcing yourself to focus. It's about allowing yourself to simply be with whatever arises in your consciousness. The more you practice presence, the more you create space between you and your thoughts. This space is where real transformation happens. It's in that quiet pause that you can begin to see things clearly and act with intention. So, how do you cultivate self-awareness and presence? It's not a one-time thing, it's a practice. It starts with noticing when your mind wanders, when you get lost in thought, when you start reacting automatically. The more you notice, the more you can bring your attention back to the present moment. Simple practices like mindful breathing, paying attention to your body, or focusing on a single task can help. It's about training yourself to be aware of what's happening right now. But it's also about being kind with yourself. Don't expect perfection. There will be days when your mind races, when it's hard to stay present, and that's okay. The goal isn't to achieve some perfect state of mind, it's to be able to return to presence whenever you slip away from it. Over time, you'll find that the more aware you become, the easier it is to stay present, even in moments that used to pull you out of your center. When you truly master this art of self-awareness and presence, you'll start to notice something amazing. Life starts to shift. It's as if the universe is responding to the energy you're putting out, not the frantic, anxious energy of wanting and needing, but the calm, confident energy of knowing you are enough, right here, right now. And that, my friend, is when the magic happens. Number 5, align with the frequency of your desired outcome. Aligning with the frequency of your desired outcome is one of those concepts that sounds simple on the surface, but when you really dive into it, it opens up a whole new way of thinking about manifestation. It's not just about setting a goal or making a wish and hoping for the best. No, this is about vibrating at the same frequency as the thing you want, syncing your energy with it so deeply that it's almost like you're already living in that reality. But how do you even start to align with something you can't see or touch yet? That's where the magic happens. It's all about tuning your inner state to match the frequency of your desire, and the cool part is, this is something you can do right now, in this moment. You don't have to wait for the perfect conditions or for everything to fall into place first. The moment you decide to align yourself, you're already in motion. Now, this might sound a little woo-woo, but stick with me for a second. Everything in the universe has its own frequency, its own energy. Whether it's a thought, an emotion, or a material object, everything is vibrating at a certain rate. The trick to manifesting your desires is learning how to match that vibration. So, let's break it down. If you want to manifest abundance, for example, you need to start vibrating at the frequency of abundance. Sounds a bit strange, right? But hear me out. When you think of abundance, what does it feel like? It's a sense of expansion, possibility, freedom, joy. These are the vibrations you want to start embodying. Start by tapping into the feeling that you're already experiencing the outcome you want. It's not enough to just think about it, you need to feel it. Think about how you would feel if you already had what you're seeking. Would you feel confident, relaxed, empowered, excited? Those emotions are the frequency of your desire. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The more you feel those emotions in the present, the more you're aligning with that frequency. You're not waiting for the external world to change, you're shifting internally to match the world you want to create. This is why it's so important to let go of any doubts or fears that might try to creep in. Those emotions will only lower your frequency and pull you out of alignment with your goal. Fear, doubt, and worry are frequencies too, but they attract experiences that match those vibrations. So, if you want to attract a reality filled with abundance, peace, and success, you need to consistently align yourself with the feelings of abundance and success. The key here is consistency. It's also worth noting that this isn't about faking it or pretending everything is perfect. It's about genuinely connecting with the energy of what you want. There's a difference between pretending to feel something and actually cultivating the emotion. So, how do you do that? It starts with awareness. Notice what you're feeling throughout the day. When you catch yourself slipping into a state of fear or lack, gently bring yourself back to the feelings of your desired outcome. It's a constant process of recalibration, but every time you catch yourself and realign, you're getting closer to your manifestation. Another important aspect of alignment is trust. Trusting that your desires are already on their way, that the universe is working behind the scenes to bring them to you, is essential. The more you trust that your frequency is being heard, the more your energy starts to harmonize with it. It's like sending out a signal to the universe: I'm ready, I'm aligned, and I trust that what I want is already on its way. Remember, aligning with the frequency of your desired outcome is a process. It's not about forcing things or trying to manipulate reality. It's about recognizing that the energy of your desire is already present, and you just need to tune in. The more you align yourself, the more effortless your manifestations become. It's as if the universe starts working with you instead of against you. So, get into the habit of checking in with yourself regularly. How am I feeling right now? Does this feeling align with what I'm trying to manifest? If not, gently bring yourself back into harmony. You're not just hoping for something to happen, you're becoming the energy of that thing. The beauty of this approach is that you don't have to wait for everything to be perfect. You just need to start where you are, shift your vibration, and trust that the universe will meet you there. When you align with the frequency of your desires, you'll find that things begin to shift in ways that feel almost effortless, as if you're in the flow, riding the wave toward your dreams. Number 6. Practice visualization and mental imagery. Visualization and mental imagery are more than just fancy techniques for manifesting. They're like the fuel that powers the engine of your dreams. Think of your mind as a canvas, and visualization as the brush you use to paint the picture of your future. When you visualize, you're essentially creating a mental movie, A vivid scene where you're the star, and what you want to manifest is already happening. You see it. You feel it. You experience it as if it's real. The more detailed and immersive this mental imagery, the more powerful it becomes in shaping your reality. You see, the brain doesn't really distinguish between what's happening in the external world and what's happening in your mind. It's all processed as if it's equally real. So, when you vividly imagine something you desire, whether it's success, health, or a new relationship, the brain starts to activate the same neural pathways as if you were actually living that experience. It's like you're rehearsing your future, laying the groundwork for it to unfold in the real world. Now, the power of visualization doesn't lie in simply imagining what you want for a few minutes each day. It's about fully immersing yourself in the experience, pulling in all the senses. Don't just picture your goal, feel it. What does it sound like? What does it smell like? Can you feel the texture of it in your hands? The more sensory-rich your mental imagery, the more it feels like your brain is actually living it, and this is where the magic happens. Your thoughts begin to align with your intentions, creating a magnetic pull toward your desires. It's not just about daydreaming either. When you practice visualization, you're essentially training your mind to recognize success, abundance, or whatever your goal may be, as a normal part of your reality. Over time, as you continue to visualize, your brain becomes accustomed to seeing your goals as inevitable. You start to believe in your ability to manifest them because you've already experienced them in your mind. That belief, that deep sense of knowing, is what helps you take inspired action toward your dreams. But here's the thing, it's not enough to just visualize once or twice and expect things to fall into place. Consistency is key. Visualization works best when it becomes a regular practice. Think of it like working out at the gym. The more consistently you do it, the stronger your mental muscles become, and the quicker you begin to notice the effects in your life. When you make it a daily ritual, morning or night, or even both, you're keeping your mind focused on your desired outcome. You're constantly reinforcing your vision, which makes it easier for your external world to start shifting in alignment. And the best part? You don't have to wait for the physical evidence to appear before you start visualizing. Often, it's the opposite. Visualization is what creates the momentum, pulling the physical reality toward you. You're like a magnet, drawing what you want closer to you with every mental picture you paint. The more vividly you see it, the more you start believing it's already on its way. But what happens when doubt creeps in? What if, while you're visualizing, your mind starts telling you it's impossible or that it won't work? That's when you've got to push through. Visualization isn't just about seeing the end result, it's also about strengthening your mindset. It's about creating a mental environment where you're not easily swayed by negative thoughts or limiting beliefs. The more you practice, the more resilient you become. You'll learn to quiet those doubts and refocus on the vision. In the end, visualization isn't just some nice-to-have manifestation tool, it's a crucial part of aligning your mind with your desires. It's your inner compass, guiding you toward what you want. So, get comfortable with it. Let it become second nature. Close your eyes, create the vivid images, feel the emotions, and watch how the world begins to mirror what you've been visualizing. It's a beautiful process, and the more you commit to it, the more it transforms your reality, one mental picture at a time. Number 7, use meditation to deepen connection with universal energy. Alright, let's talk about using meditation to deepen your connection with universal energy. Now, when we say universal energy, we're talking about that subtle force, the invisible current that flows through everything, the stuff that makes up the world, the stuff that makes up you. It's the energy behind all things, from the big cosmic movements down to the tiniest particles. And while this might sound a little abstract at first, trust me, when you meditate, you can actually tap into it. Meditation is more than just sitting with your eyes closed and trying to empty your mind. It's a doorway, a portal, into something much greater than just your own thoughts. In fact, it's not about trying to stop thinking at all. The point of meditation isn't to block your thoughts, but to simply observe them without getting tangled in them. When you do this, you begin to create a space between you and the thoughts that usually dominate your mind. This space is where you can start to tune into something beyond the personal noise. And that's where universal energy starts to show up. Think of meditation as a tuning fork for your soul. It's like you're trying to tune your internal instrument so that it resonates with the vibration of the universe. At first, you might not feel anything, or you might get distracted by your thoughts. But keep at it, and you'll notice that after a while, something starts to shift. It's subtle. You begin to feel more connected to the present moment, to the world around you, to the flow of life itself. This is the first step in aligning yourself with universal energy. And let's be clear, universal energy isn't some distant, unreachable force. It's always around you, always flowing through you. The challenge is that, often, we're too caught up in our day-to-day thoughts, our worries, our plans, to even notice it. But when you meditate, you give yourself permission to stop and listen. It's like suddenly hearing a song that's been playing in the background the whole time, but you were too busy to catch the tune. Now, meditation isn't always easy. It can be uncomfortable, especially at first. Your mind will wander, your body might fidget, and the stillness can feel a little alien. But here's the thing, all of that is part of the process. Each time you bring your focus back to your breath or the feeling in your body, you're strengthening your ability to stay connected to that deeper, more expansive energy. It's a skill, just like anything else. As you keep practicing, you might start to notice that the lines between you and the universe begin to blur. The idea of you as separate from everything else starts to fade. You're not just a person in a room anymore, you're an extension of the vast, interconnected web of energy that surrounds us all. This realization isn't some abstract philosophy, it's something you begin to feel in your body. You start to notice how your energy shifts, how your mood changes, how the world seems to respond to your inner state. And this is where the real power lies. When you're connected to universal energy, you're no longer trying to force things into being. You're simply aligning with the natural flow of life. Meditation helps you to do that. It clears out the noise and creates space for you to tap into something bigger than your individual self. And when you align with that energy, the process of manifesting becomes less about effort and more about surrendering to what's already there. You're no longer chasing after things. You're simply becoming a vessel for the flow of life to move through you. The energy, the opportunities, the synchronicities, they start to come to you because you've put yourself in the right energetic space. But here's something to keep in mind, meditation isn't a quick fix. It's not about sitting for 10 minutes and expecting your life to change. It's a practice. It's something you build over time. And as you build it, you deepen your connection with universal energy in ways that are impossible to predict. Some days, it will feel effortless, like you're floating in a sea of calm and clarity. Other days, it will feel like your thoughts are louder than ever, and that's okay too. The more you show up, the more you'll begin to tap into that subtle, expansive force. And the best part? The more you meditate, the more you'll begin to see the effects in every area of your life. You'll find yourself responding to challenges with greater ease, seeing opportunities where you once saw obstacles, and feeling a deeper sense of trust in the unfolding of your journey. When you're connected to universal energy, the universe doesn't just seem to support you, it flows with you. And that, my friend, is the essence of manifestation. Number 8, embrace gratitude as a tool for attracting abundance. Gratitude, it's one of those words that gets thrown around a lot, but when it comes to manifesting anything, it's like the secret ingredient that makes everything work better. And I'm not just talking about saying thank you every now and then. No, real gratitude is a deep, soul-shifting force that has the power to attract abundance in ways you might never have imagined. It's like a magnet for good things, and once you start to truly embrace it, you'll see how it changes the game for you. So, let's start by flipping the script on how we usually think about gratitude. Most people see it as a reaction. Something good happens, and you feel thankful for it. But what if gratitude wasn't just something that happens after the fact? What if it could actually be the thing that pulls more good things into your life, like a proactive tool? Here's the thing, gratitude is all about energy. When you genuinely feel grateful, you're shifting your vibration, and that shift opens the door for more of what you're grateful for to flow into your life. Think about it for a second. If you're constantly in a state of scarcity, thinking about what you lack, what you don't have, or what's missing, then that's the energy you're putting out into the universe. You're not exactly giving off a frequency that says, "Hey, bring me more abundance." You're putting out a vibe of "I don't have enough." On the flip side, when you start to practice gratitude, even for the smallest things, you're broadcasting the opposite frequency. You're saying, "I have enough. I'm thankful for what I already have, and I'm open to receiving more." It's not just a surface-level thought process. Gratitude works its magic by shifting your mindset from lack to abundance. And once that shift happens, the world starts to look different. Suddenly, you're more attuned to the good things around you, and those good things begin to multiply. It's like you've put on a pair of glasses that filter out the negative and highlight the positive. When you focus on what you already have, you're sending a message to the universe that you're in alignment with abundance, which, as strange as it sounds, makes you a magnet for more. But here's the kicker, you don't need to wait for big things to happen in your life to practice gratitude. In fact, the more you can cultivate gratitude for the little things, the more the universe has to work with. That's the secret, gratitude isn't about waiting for abundance to show up. It's about seeing the abundance that already exists around you and amplifying it. It could be something as simple as feeling thankful for a moment of peace, a smile from a stranger, or the warmth of the sun on your face. These tiny moments are still a form of abundance. And when you recognize them, you're essentially telling the universe, "Yes, I see all of this. Bring me more." Now, when it comes to manifesting, gratitude is like an energetic amplifier. When you pair gratitude with your desires, it sends a powerful signal to the universe. You're not just hoping for what you want, you're living as if it's already yours. The energy of gratitude aligns you with the frequency of your desires, making it easier for them to manifest. It's like this cosmic shortcut. Instead of spending time focusing on what's not here yet, you get to practice feeling the gratitude as if it already is. And that's the magic formula for attracting abundance in all its forms. But let's be real for a second, this isn't always easy. There are days when it's tough to feel grateful, especially when things aren't going the way you'd like them to. That's when the real power of gratitude kicks in. It's not about faking it or pretending everything is perfect, it's about choosing gratitude, even when it feels hard. When you can tap into that sense of appreciation in the midst of chaos or uncertainty, you're building a muscle that strengthens your connection to the flow of abundance. It's like giving the universe a little wink and saying, "I trust that there's good here, even if I can't see it right now." And the more you practice this, the more you'll start to notice how abundance flows into your life. It's not always in huge, obvious ways. Sometimes, it's a small shift in perspective, a new opportunity that you hadn't considered, or a series of tiny synchronicities that lead you closer to your goals. The universe has a funny way of surprising you, but it can only surprise you if you're open to it, and gratitude is the key that unlocks that door. So, as you continue on your journey of manifesting anything, remember to make gratitude your constant companion. It's the energetic foundation that holds everything together. When you align with it, you align with abundance. And when you align with abundance, you open the floodgates to a life filled with all the good things you've been dreaming of. Number 9. Release limiting beliefs and mental barriers. Releasing limiting beliefs and mental barriers is one of the most transformative steps you can take on your manifestation journey. Imagine you're trying to build a house, but every time you try to lay a foundation, there's a wall blocking your path. That's what limiting beliefs do. They create walls that prevent you from moving forward, even when the potential to build something amazing is right in front of you. These beliefs are like invisible chains, tying you to old patterns, doubts, and fears that keep you stuck. But here's the thing, these chains are not as solid as they seem. They're often just mental constructs, things we've been taught or picked up along the way. Most of the time, we're not even aware that they exist until we start questioning why we're not manifesting the things we desire. You may have a dream in your heart, but if you believe deep down that you're unworthy of it or that it's too hard to achieve, you'll unconsciously block yourself from getting closer to it. One of the first steps to releasing these limiting beliefs is recognizing them. They often show up in sneaky ways, disguised as excuses or self-doubt. You might catch yourself thinking things like, "I'm not good enough for that," or "people like me don't get what they want." These thoughts are the walls that stop your energy from flowing freely toward your goals. But once you become aware of them, you can start the work of dismantling them. The next step is to challenge them. Ask yourself, is this belief really true? A lot of the time, we hold on to these ideas because they've been ingrained in us for years, maybe even since childhood. They feel safe and familiar, even though they're holding us back. But when you question them, really sit with the thought of, is this belief serving me or limiting me? You'll start to realize how much of it is simply old programming that no longer applies. Once you've identified these beliefs, it's time to let them go. Releasing limiting beliefs isn't just about telling yourself, "I don't believe that anymore." It's about actively shifting your mindset, replacing the old, restrictive thoughts with new, empowering ones. This is where the power of affirmation comes in. Instead of thinking, "I'm not worthy of success," you can start telling yourself, "I am worthy of all the abundance life has to offer." But here's a twist, affirmations alone won't work if you don't truly believe them. It's not just about repeating words, it's about feeling them in your body, believing them in your core. When you say, "I am worthy of success," feel that truth sink into every fiber of your being. Let the words resonate deeply, and start acting as though they're already true. This is where the magic happens. When you align your beliefs with your actions, you create a powerful, unstoppable force. Now, let's talk about mental barriers. These are the deeper, often unconscious obstacles that keep you from fully stepping into your power. They're like thick fog, clouding your vision and making you second-guess your every move. Mental barriers often stem from past experiences or fear of failure. Maybe you've tried to achieve something before and it didn't work out, so now you carry that fear forward with you. But here's the thing, every time you let that fear stop you, you're reinforcing the mental barrier. To break through these barriers, you have to get comfortable with discomfort. Fear is natural, but it's also an illusion. The more you lean into discomfort and take action despite the fear, the more you'll realize that these mental barriers are not as solid as they appear. They crumble the moment you confront them. When you push past the fear, you make room for growth, and that's when true transformation happens. Sometimes, releasing these beliefs and barriers takes time. It's not a one-and-done process. You'll likely need to revisit your mindset and beliefs regularly to ensure you're not slipping back into old patterns. But as you continue to challenge and release the limiting thoughts, you create a new mental space, one that's open, free, and full of possibility. The more you practice releasing those old beliefs, the more effortless it becomes. Eventually, you'll find yourself stepping into your full potential, manifesting the life you've always dreamed of. So, don't be afraid to dig deep and confront the things that have been holding you back. When you release those limiting beliefs and mental barriers, you're clearing the path for something amazing to come into your life. You have the power to rewrite your story, and it all starts with letting go of the mental blocks that no longer serve you. Number 10. Maintain faith and trust in the manifestation process. Alright, let's dive into one of the trickiest yet most important aspects of manifestation: maintaining faith and trust in the process. Now, this isn't just about blindly hoping things will work out. It's about genuinely aligning with the energy of belief, even when you can't see the finish line. This is where most people stumble. The moment things don't go according to plan or the manifestation seems to take longer than expected, doubt starts creeping in. And let's be honest, when things aren't going the way we want, it's easy to get frustrated. But here's the thing, doubt isn't just a neutral feeling, it's a barrier. It can stop the flow of energy you need to manifest. So, how do you maintain that unwavering faith when everything around you seems to be saying otherwise? The first step is understanding that the manifestation process isn't always linear. It's messy, it's unpredictable, and it unfolds in its own time. You can't control everything, no matter how much you want to. And that's where trust comes in. Trust is like the quiet force that keeps you grounded when everything around you feels chaotic or uncertain. It's the belief that the universe has a plan for you, even if you don't have all the details yet. Now, this isn't to say that you just sit back and wait for things to fall into your lap. Far from it. Faith and trust in the manifestation process don't mean sitting idle. It means knowing that your actions, thoughts, and intentions are leading you somewhere, even if you can't see the path clearly. It's a deep knowing that everything you do is a step in the right direction. When you're aligned with your goals and stay committed to your vision, the universe starts to respond, sometimes in ways you might not expect. The tricky part is that during the waiting game, there's often no immediate evidence that your manifestation is coming to life. It's in these moments, when you feel stuck or frustrated, that faith becomes absolutely crucial. Think about it, the universe isn't just sitting there waiting for you to get frustrated before it delivers. It's always working. Always aligning things behind the scenes. But if you lose faith, you stop the flow. If you doubt too much, you create resistance. And resistance is like a roadblock that stops the manifestation from coming through. Here's another thing, trusting the process means trusting yourself. It means believing that you are worthy of receiving what you've asked for. So many people are caught in the cycle of "I'm not good enough" or "this is too big for me." But the truth is, if you've set the intention and aligned with the energy of what you want, it's already on its way. Doubt only creates a distance between you and your desires. You have to trust not only in the universe but also in your own ability to manifest. There's a beautiful thing that happens when you fully surrender to the process. It's almost like a weight is lifted. You let go of the need to control how and when things will happen, and suddenly, everything starts flowing more effortlessly. It's in that space of trust and surrender that magic can happen. When you trust that the universe has your back, you stop second-guessing every little step and start moving forward with confidence. That's when things begin to shift in ways that surprise you. But let's not sugarcoat it, it's hard to maintain faith when things aren't looking the way you imagined. You might find yourself asking, "Why isn't this happening faster?" or "Is this really going to work for me?" And that's completely normal. Those thoughts will come up. The key is not to let them dictate your reality. When doubt arises, acknowledge it. Let it be there. But don't let it control you. Shift your focus back to what you're creating, to your vision, and to the belief that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if it doesn't look like it right now. At the end of the day, maintaining faith and trust is about holding the vision of what you want without getting attached to how it will come to you. Trust that the manifestation process is happening, even if you can't see it immediately. Believe that everything you're doing, every step you take, is leading you closer to what you desire. And as you continue moving forward with unwavering trust, you'll find that the universe, in its own time and in its own way, will start to reflect your faith back to you in ways that are beyond your wildest dreams. And that's the spiritual blueprint for manifesting anything, According to Jacobo Grinberg's transformative research, the power to shape your reality is in your hands, but it starts with understanding and mastering your own mind. If this resonated with you, drop a comment below and share your thoughts on how you plan to use these principles in your own life. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the mysteries of manifestation and the mind. Until next time, stay aligned with your highest intentions, and watch your world shift.